Yep, I should be
No.
ready.
Okay, and Nayan, are you ready? Nayan?
Yes.
Okay, good. And then everybody, the heat after this one is going to be Kevin, Jung Young, Gabriel, and Chris Crutchfield. So you guys are on deck, to use the phrase, and we'll be calling you up next. If at any point you feel like you're not ready, let me know. Just speak up, and I will, or you can just send a message in the text in the chat, and I will remove you from that heat. That's okay. That's absolutely fine.
So if you don't say, just really quick, if you don't see your name in green, that means we haven't signed up with your presence here, that we don't know that you're racing.
That's right. That's right. And okay. All right. 2 minutes to launch.
I have a question. When I connect to the race, do I just run my model to connect to the race?
Basically, when you start the donkey, if you're using donkey, I'm assuming, then you load that model right away, and then you wait for Chris to give the command to start. Because, for example, we're going to be racing 4 races at the same time, so they're going to launch 2 of those, and a couple of seconds later, Chris is going to say, hey, second wave, go. And then as soon as he says go within the second wave, you just wait for a couple of seconds. So the answer would be, don't start the model right away, wait for the command to start.
Okay, thank you.
And by start, you mean switch to auto, right?
Yeah, start the navigation. But yes, you're going to load the model, you're going to show up at the track, but you don't press whatever button you're pressing to start navigating until you get the command from Chris.
Right. I can't remember, what is the buttons? What do we describe the button? Do we say start navigating, or we call it auto?
Well, depend. You change your mode for full auto, like a local control of the steering throttle, and then different joystick. We're going to have different buttons. I have a couple of those here, and then some of them is just basically really have a start button on it, and you change the modes. Some of them is like if it's a different joystick, we won't have different buttons.
Okay.
When people start the donkey, they should see the buttons mapping there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we are at 9 o'clock. Jack, are you ready to go?
Hi, I'm not on the list. I'm Felipe. I think I'm in the orange still.
Oh, okay. Well, you're on. There should not be an orange. Let me
Or like
sure
I can't see the list.
Okay, here.
Still, but I'm assuming I'm not
the
on
list. Yeah, the list is here. I'll put it in the chat again.
Perfect. Thank you.
So I am streaming the list. If you do not see your name, that's your last chance to join. So make sure you tell Chris that you're here. I don't see David Gonçalves. I don't see 3 other UCSD students not there yet. David Gonçalves is actually listed twice. We can remove one. Chris, 6. You can see on the 6 there.
Okay. All right.
Or the other way around. I'm sorry, Chris, go back and then remove
no worries. No worries.
Yeah, above that.
Okay, so this guy can, this guy can be removed. Fine.
Yeah, so
okay. So those are the no-shows. Right.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Okay, Jack, you ready to go?
We are ready to go, Chris.
All right. And Maxime, are you ready to go? Okay, good morning, afternoon, everybody watching this on Twitch. Welcome to another DIY-RoboCar's virtual race. We do this on a monthly basis. This is a companion to our in-person races. It duplicates the in-person races as closely as possible, and we alternate between in-person and virtual. The way it works is that we have racers from around the world who are going to be running their autonomous car software locally on their own laptop. And they're all connected, or will be connected as they come up to race, to a server, which is based in San Diego. at the home of UC San Diego, hosted by our track master, Jack, who I will introduce in a moment. And what's going to happen is that we're going to have 4 at a time. They're going to be racing fully autonomously. Once I say go, they are hands off, and the cars will try to navigate the track and win. There will be 4 heats. There'll be 3 heats. That means each racer will get 3 opportunities to get a good time. Then the fastest 8 after the 3 heats will go into a ladder. We will then match the first with the last, and so on until we get to the fastest racer overall. So that is the way it's overall going to work. Before we get started, I wanted to introduce our track master and our sim master to tell us more. Jack, what's new this month?
Hey everybody, welcome to our race of September. So we're looking forward to a great day. It's beautiful in San Diego, so hopefully we can feel the sun. For this month, Chris, we're really excited about a new feature that may be a game changer for folks that are in Europe and or Asia, or anybody that has high latency. That means the time that goes from your computer for your Wi-Fi connection to your router, to your provider, to my service, IT server, internet service provider, to my router. You got the idea, right? So that the latency now, we were able to get rid of it by you sending us Docker container. And the difference for this month, Chris, is that the competitors will be able to start and stop. In fact, they can update their Docker container without actually me being in the loop. So that's a big change. Kudos here for Dimitri and Rainer that spent hours and hours with me trying to make sure this is work. At this point, it's not quite open to the public. As soon as we finish up, tighten a little bit of the security. So that means that the Docker container cannot go anywhere besides the simulator. We're going to open up to the public, but we are very close to it. So you're going to see 2 competitors that can control their code that to run on the server, basically less than 0.1 millisecond latency. They basically no latency, and then they can update their code without me being in the loop, and they can start and stop their models, the AI models, without me in the loop either. So that means nicer, less work for me, and much more flexibility for the racers. On that sense, Chris, also we didn't really have a chance to people to do reinforced learning on the server. Now they can, because latency not going to be in the way, so they can be running their model without latency, and then later on just run it. So if we leave the server running 24/7, people will be able to train, including having GPU acceleration in their models.
What's particularly cool about this is that we're getting closer and closer to emulating the real world. The track, when I'll get to Maxime in a moment, the track is a near perfect representation of the actual track we have at Circuit Launch in Oakland. And that means if you train in the simulator, which you can do at any time at home, if you then bring your car to the actual track, it should pretty much work. And the only difference in the past was that the latency doing it over a remote server was higher than the real world. And now Jack has just solved this with the notion of a Docker container. So that's exciting. And we're starting to really get our rhythms. Our sim to real gap is closing, as they say. To talk a little bit more about a simulator, I wanted to introduce Maxime, who is our simulator master. Maxime, what's new this month?
Good morning, everyone. Good evening. Depends on where you are in the
Bonjour, Maxime. Bonjour.
So yeah, this month nothing has changed much from last race. I think we did race with the random code. That's still a thing. So we
actually, Maxine, we did not. This month we will have the random com. Last time, remember, we tried to make it easier. Yeah, and then now we'll introduce the random
this
com.
Time we will run with the random code. I didn't remember that we disabled it last time, but yeah. So yeah, it should add some fun to the race. We'll see if people will crash or get their model disturbed by the random code. So yeah, that should be fun. other than that, nothing has changed, but I have a future. I'm always working on a future version, and I can already tell you that we'll have some changes in the textures of the walls, because some people gave me some better photos. So so yeah, it should be a bit better regarding the textures on the walls.
Thank you. So by the photos, he means that this track was actually kind of photogrammatically reproduced from actual photos of the circuit launch track itself. Last month, Maxime introduced that top-down view, which you're seeing in the bottom left-hand corner, which is fantastic. And that's the easiest way to track how the cars are doing. The random cone that he mentioned is actually a duplicate of something we do in the real world. A random cone. A cone is randomly placed somewhere on the track. If you hit the cone, you lose a second, and Maxime's code will actually automatically deduct or add, I guess, a second to your time if you do that. In the real world, we have a small child always assigned to be the random cone placer, which is a lot of fun for them, and they always get applause for particularly tricky cone placements in corners and places where it's hard to miss. So that is all, we're again, simulating the real world. The way this track works is that it has obviously lines, which the computer vision would look at. It also has a wall, the black wall you can see. That wall is designed in the real world for two reasons. One is because the track's quite tight, it keeps the cars from colliding with each other on different sides of the line. It also, for cars that have LiDAR, it also gives them some localization ability. The cones also provide some localization ability, and LiDAR is enabled in the simulator. So you may see some cars, potentially, actually, you can see sort of lines emanating from it, and that's them using LiDAR to both detect walls, cones, and maybe other cars and avoid them. All right, so that is probably enough for the intro. I'll give more explanations. By the way, as we get into it, that once we start the race, the racers have nothing to do. Once they press go and switch into auto mode, they're a spectator like all of us, and I will be asking the spectators over time, especially as we go into it, to talk about what their techniques have been, their training techniques, any especially as they learn from session to session, what they would do differently. They might, for example, feel that their car can go faster, so they could turn up the speed. They might turn out that the car is going too fast and going off the track, and they would turn it down accordingly. And so, excuse me, that's the technique. Anyway, starting up first, we're going to have 4 racers. We have 3 on the line right now. That is, you'll note that a lot of them have a UCSD preface. That means that they are students of Jack's. Jack, maybe you could say a little bit about your course, just to explain why we have so many UCSD students participating.
Yeah, that's one of the bonus for the classes when they come and race with us online. So the class, depending if you take a regular quarter or summer class, it's usually 10 hours per week, and one or 10 weeks class, or 20 hours per week if you take a 5 weeks class. And that's why you see here the summer 2 students, and they start with the donkey sim, then in parallel with that, the developer, the donkey car, and then they run on a track that we have at UCSD, and then they start to be introduced to ROS, Python, and OpenCV, and then they run their robots on OpenCV and ROS, and then they have the final project. Some of them do add capabilities to the donkey car, some of them just add a new feature to the robot, and some of them actually, for example, is testing new hardware. So that's a class I have been running every quarter at UCSD. Believe it or not, we usually have between 80 and 100 students on the waiting list. We just can't get everybody in the lab at the same time. We have to limit it to 28 at the lab. So it's pretty popular class, and we're pretty happy. Have been advancing all the time with new stuff. Thanks for this community.
Exactly, but it's not limited. People from around the world of any age can participate. It's all free, and so we've had 12-year-olds, we've had 80-year-olds, we've had people from all the major
That's true.
continents. As you can see right now, I guess we have a good participation from Europe and the US, but we've had a strong team from Japan as well. I guess the time zones aren't really helping us at the moment. One last word before we get started. These cars are primarily using deep learning, which is to say that they have, you know, neural networks. They are typically end-to-end neural networks, which means that they're trained. The cars see images, and they're trained to steer. Drew, you're going to have to restart. They're trained to steer by the human. That can be involving either what's called behavior cloning, which is that the human drives around the track and the neural network sort of pays attention and then tries to reproduce it. It could be reinforcement learning, by which you just tell the neural network what to do, sort of penalties and rewards. Rewards for staying on the track, penalties for staying off. Or it could be simple supervision, where you just sort of tell the car, you point at where the car should go. It goes there, you point again, and you just do that around the track a few times. And I think that's what Drew will be doing with JetSim. Most of these cars are using the Donkey Car framework, but some are also using the NVIDIA Jet Racer JetBot framework. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But enough talk. We have all 4 cars on the starting line. I'm going to start in waves. The first 2 will be Esther and Sean. And then I'm going to wait about 5 seconds. Then I'm going to launch Drew and Nayan, I guess. Okay, so Maxime, are you ready? You're the timer.
I'm ready. I just randomized the cone and the chairs around the track.
Oh, that's right. The chairs get randomized as well, just in case people are training off chairs and or lidaring off chairs. Those chairs get moved around in the real world. Yeah. We have spectators, and the chairs do move, so we're trying to simulate that as well. Okay. First wave, this is going to be Esther and Sean. Are you ready?
Ready.
Unmute. Okay.
I'm ready.
On your mark, get set, go. Okay, their time only starts when they cross the line, so don't worry about that. They're now, okay, so Esther is correctly shifted. Nayan went backwards, then forwards. That'll work. Second wave. This is Nayan and Drew. On your mark, get set, go.
Chris, for people that's watching this, these students had access to this track only early in the week. So if they can do this in a week, anyone can do it.
Okay, so
it's
what
pretty
we're
easy
seeing,
to get in a start.
Exactly. What we're seeing is the cars doing quite well. We're actually seeing a pretty serious race in the second wave between Jan and Drew. Drew, Jan's just oh my goodness. So Drew is using an aggressive and well-trained network, but he just wiped out. So let me, gosh, it's hard to see which is the most exciting race here, but it looks like, is it an intersection of death, and it works. So this intersection is very tricky, and it looks like Esther and Drew have locked up. Drew's going to try to disengage himself, but does not, and everybody is dead at this point. Okay, the question is, did any of them finish a lap before they crashed?
Esther.
Esther. So Esther gets points on the board. She has a 34-second lap, which makes her the leader at the moment. Now there was some bad luck there. That intersection of death is one where the faster car is crossing that before at the same time as the slower car, and you can run into each other and lock up, which is exactly what happened. All right, so that's points on the board, and don't worry, the other racers will have an opportunity to come back. Their luck will improve, no doubt. We're now going to have the second wave. This is going to be Kevin, Jung Young, Gabriel, and Chris Crutchfield. So racers move up. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is the spreadsheet that shows the results so far, but Esther is in the lead. Nayan, you need to disengage. Very good. Very good. Chris is on. Kevin is on. Gabriel is on. And now we're just waiting for Jung Young, I think. Okay, we'll give him a minute. Jung Young, do you need time?
More, as you can see.
You
have latency.
Oh, I have
Yes.
latency. My bad. Okay.
Maybe try to
I'm
refresh
actually
more.
I'm watching on the Twitch and it looks like I've got latency. My bad. Okay. First wave is going to be
We have
oh,
someone.
Accessing. Does it say I'm there? Because I can't see the race on my screen.
you're on the Twitch.
I apologize. My joystick seems to be a little squirrely, so I'm trying to see if I can center him again.
So who was saying that you couldn't see a robot? It should be on the Twitch
Ke-
channel, right? You can't see that locally, right? We're streaming, and that's
Kevin,
all be
you,
able to see.
you have 2 robots. So try to disconnect all your robots and reconnect.
Kevin is down to 1. Okay, we'll wait for Chris to come back.
He's back.
Okay, there we go. All right, very good. So at the front, it's going to be Gabriel and sorry, forgive me. At the front, it's going to be Chris and Kevin. On your mark, get set, go. All right, and in the second row, after
Okay,
we wait
Kevin
for
is
those.
not. Are you facing issues, Kevin?
Yeah, I am trying to. I can't access the robot on my screen, so I can't get it to go on its own. I think I need to change the command.
Okay, maybe we can try to
Restart this one?
yeah, or we can ask someone else to race instead of
So
Kevin. Maybe we
Kevin,
can-
are
we
you
can leave it-
using a joystick or using the web interface, Kevin?
I'm using a joystick. I ran my model, but
Right. So then, you already connected the server, right? So then now you have to be on the Twitch stream, and you're going to see a robot, and you just press the button, whatever button you have, for example, mode or start on your joystick, and that should start. You should be seeing this stream, not seeing on your simulator anymore, right? The simulator doesn't matter at this point.
okay, then in
You already know you can connect the external server. That's good, right? Because you can see a robot. Now you are the one that has to go, just open a web browser and go to the Twitch Robot Assist, and then you should be able to see a robot. And at that point, you have to press the mode change on your joystick, and then your robot should start.
okay, yeah, I have the Twitch open. In that case, I'm trying to disconnect this robot and then reconnect is what I'm trying to do now.
Okay, so just control C to kill the process.
Maybe you put Kevin on the back, and then you get to the folks that can start on the front.
Okay,
All right.
so yeah, exactly. So let's everybody please disconnect and we'll reconnect. So Chris, thank you for your start. You were the only one, but let's start again.
Also, Jack, do you want to reduce the split screen to 4 so that we have only 3 racers shown and the top view, or should we
Okay.
keep the 5?
So because if I do 4, then we won't see the top view, isn't it?
We can disable the top view, yes, if you want.
But so how many screens you want me to show? 4 or 5?
3 car and the top screen. That would be perfect, I think.
Okay, so
The FPS, I mean the frame rate of the sim is around 47-ish, so I mean that's okay, but it's not optimal, and we
Okay, just a
may
moment.
have some weird behaviors.
Okay, Kevin, we have you on twice now, so one of those cars needs to be killed.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. I've control C and the car has just stayed there. I'm trying to figure out how to disconnect them.
Why don't we, once you disconnect, why don't we move you a little further down the race order, and we'll just race with 3.
Everyone disconnect please from the sim, and let's reconnect again, so that I think we have some issues.
Okay, so everybody again.
Yeah, disconnect.
Disconnect.
Might have to restart this. We'll see. okay, we're going to have to restart the sim. We have a ghost car, so
Yeah.
this is one of the things that I try to fix from a version to another. But yeah, so that's the thing that you start to realize when you race, because there's also there's always some unwanted behaviors.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, a ghost
maybe-
car is a ghost car, because it's an open IP address, anybody could connect, and that is apparently just what happened. No problem.
maybe restart completely the sim, Jack, so that we're sure that it's not an issue. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody, for your patience as we work
Yeah.
through this.
Yeah, sorry, didn't go as smooth as I wished, but yeah. Okay.
So you can see our sim is in Unity, which is why it looks so good.
Okay, now we can try to connect.
Okay,
good.
racers, try again, please. Very good, Gabriel. Great, Chris.
Okay.
That's probably, unless Kevin is thinking he's got it nailed, we can start with just the three.
Yeah, we should.
Oh,
And then
okay.
Kevin can have another chance later.
Very good. Okay, first row, Chris and Gabriel. On your mark, get.
Work now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry?
First row. Kevin thinks he's working.
Okay,
First
okay.
row. Chris and Gabriel. On your mark, get set, go. Second wave. On your mark, get set, go.
Nice, Kevin, you got it.
Okay.
Chris, how much you paying for that guy that's holding the coffee cup? He's always on our screen. It's like a part-time artist that always stand there.
Yeah. His job is to stand there, don't move. We'll add more
Exactly.
people. So I've got a little bit of latency, so my play-by-play is not going to be brilliant, but so from what I can tell, it looks like Chris is doing well. We have three racers who are on the
Yep.
track. Gabriel hit the cone, which unfortunately will stop you if you hit from that angle. Gabriel, are you still in auto mode? Yeah, you have to stay in auto mode. So I can't even tell who's in the lead, but we do have three cars with points on the board, and we're looking at some very smooth driving. I'm just in particular, I'm watching Chris do his thing, because that's the one I've been tracking, and it's a good line. Looks well trained. Chris, why don't I take this opportunity to ask you how you trained? Wow, Jung Yang is passing Chris on the, trying to passes on the inside, locked wheel to wheel. Oh my goodness, that was tricky.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I think everyone has at least a lap. Let me just fill in the last laps.
so
Okay.
it looks like our current leader is Jung Yang, who is got 33 seconds on his fastest lap. That puts him ahead of Esther, but just barely. Oh no, 32 seconds even. So that's good times. So we now have, and then Chris did a 35. So that's at the moment right now, it's Jung Yang, Esther Grossman, and Chris Crutchfield in first, second, and third place. Good. Okay, we'll now move to our next heat. This is going to be Anton. Yeah, okay, yes.
Yeah, so everyone disconnect and then let the new one connect.
Okay.
That we don't have any issues.
Exactly.
Thanks.
So we'll wait for everyone to leave. Control C yourself out of there.
Yep, that's good.
Chris, there you go. All right. Now joining us is going to be Anton, Sunny, Anwar, and Rainer.
Could I be moved down or skipped? I think I might need some more time.
Who's that?
Anton.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and Anton, I can move you down. I'll move you down to the last heat. All right. So we're waiting. We're going to have three racers, Sunny, Anwar, and Rainer. Now, Rainer is a longtime high performer here. He comes from the Detroit group, and they go by the name of Parking Lot Nerds. He is the one to beat. He is, I know he's got, I don't know, possibly even 20 seconds in him. So we'll see how the team, the UCSD team, does against him. We're waiting just for Anwar. Anwar, are you with us? Going once, going twice.
Can you put me in the back? I don't know. It's not compiling right now for some reason.
You're compiling.
Or it's like give me some error. So
okay, well, we'll go without you. I'll
Yeah.
move you further down. Okay, so it's just going to be the two. This is Rainer versus Sunny. On your mark, get set, go.
And parking lot nerds, they actually started their remote Docker container. It's work. I didn't have to click anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great. Some nice racing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is competition.
Yeah, they are really, really fast.
Look at that. Do I see drifting there, Sunny? Sunny, tell us about your training technique. That looks good.
Yeah, I do drift when I was when I was training. Not sure if the neural network caught though.
Well, looks like you're going the wrong way now, but it was super impressive, and it looks like you probably got time on the board. So Rainer is this is an example of what happens when you have a lot of experience in training. And look at those smooth racing lines. Rainer, tell us a little bit about your technique.
Well, I'm using the classical donkey car, but I optimized the camera position, put it a bit up like the old guy bots to have no cropping of the images, so have maximized pixels for the neural net. And then I used the racing line pre-computed, and I just try to follow that manually. And well, it's a bit of training, it's a bit of driving experience. And finally, from the last time, I improved the starting throttle. I put it a bit like 7 seconds in the full mode before switching to the model.
Yeah, this is, for those of you watching, this is the perfect line. I mean, you cannot see a smoother race behavior than this. Rainer, how do you deal with obstacles in other cars? Do you handle that?
Not yet fully. During training, there were some instances where I headed towards the cone, and I just drove around, and sometimes the model replicates this behavior. But what I need to do in the next part is to make use of the LiDAR and detect when an obstacle is close, and then try to slow down and drive around. So that's something we've done before, but it was just a ROS in another competition. So now that since the LiDAR is now on, that's very, very good opportunity to progress further and deal with the obstacles. So needs more time.
Yeah.
And also he has something different. Also, he has almost no latency because his model now is running out of the server. So that may help also, not necessarily this performance, but when he's going to be doing the LiDARs and everything else, all the sensors coming with no latency.
Maxime, I don't see a random cone. Did it not get generated?
is just at the entry of the loop.
Oh, okay. I thought that was actually part of the track. So it's this one here is the random cone.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, good.
Yeah, I agree that it's a bit offset. I mean, it's really on the edge of the track. Yeah.
No worries. Okay, I think we've probably got 3 laps here, and those are
Yeah. We actually got
okay. So
8th lap.
yeah. Okay. So racers, you can disconnect at this point. So we now have a new high score, 26.56 seconds. So that puts Rainer in first place. Super impressive. Next up is going to be Parth, Tiziano, and Dimitri, and Anton.
Do we have? We have a duplicate of Anton.
Oh, do we? Oh, my apologies. We do. So I'm gonna.
Yep.
Anton, are you ready to go?
No, I can let you know when I am, I think.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's going to be Parth, Tiziano, Dimitri.
Okay,
and...
I'm mute.
Say again?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, good. So again, we have Parth, Tiziano, Dimitri, and Naiwan. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, correctly.
Okay, very good. So we are, so TIF, who is TIF?
That's me.
Oh, that's right. Very good. That's of course, that's Tiziano. So we are just waiting for Naiwan.
Give me 1 sec. Okay.
There we are. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So in the first wave, this will be Parth using another JetSim framework like Andrew before, and versus Tiziano. On your mark, get set, go.
Wait, he's moving.
It's great.
At least he's moving forward.
And in the second wave, Dimitri and Naiwan, on your mark, get set, go.
I'm impressed.
That's great.
For a last minute entry, you had some progress in there.
Oh gosh. It's the latency. I mean, when I tested, it was doing much better than this, but the latency really killed it.
Yeah.
Adjustable though. So for your next race, you can change the latency to something you think is more appropriate.
Let me see.
So the JetSim framework continues to perform well, well, except for the collisions. But that is, JetSim's now going the wrong direction. It's going to need another collision to get back in the right direction, which it got. Sorry, I know I've got a little latency on my screen, but that was really cool. Parth, you lucked out there. It looks like we've got a pretty tight race for the, I guess, number one and 2 position. Dimitri, tell us about your training.
Yep. Hello, everyone. So basically, it's a linear model, but I provided more training data, like nearly 60,000 of images, and also I changed the AI launcher a bit. So currently, it's not only enable full throttle for 5.5 seconds, but also fix the steering angle to 0.0, so it's more stable on the starting. And and also I've changed skip frame. This is the setting in the config to be able to collect more images. So yeah, that's basically it.
And where do you run the model? Do you run remote? Do you run on a server? What are you doing?
Yeah, I run it in the Docker container.
Terrific. Well, it looks like the one car that we didn't give a camera to, Naiwan, is doing well, and not avoiding the random cone, but that's okay. It's only a second. So I think we have 3 laps for her. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So the times are going in.
And I have a question for Path, because I wasn't really watching.
Yeah, my model cut the loop, so that time is not accurate.
Okay, okay. So I'm
And it
just
looks,
going to put you the
yeah, it looks like our jet racer was doing really well, but had just a bad luck of a collision at the intersection of death. Okay, terrific. Let us, racers, please disconnect. And we're now going to move to our last heat, which is going to be Felipe, Kimberly, Anton, and Anwar. And then we're going to start with the first heat again for the second race. So we're waiting for Felipe, Kimberly, Anton, and Anwar to log on.
Sorry, I'm still trying to fix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. So it'll just be Felipe, Kimberly, and Anton. Felipe is on. Kimberly is on.
Are we waiting for anyone else?
Anton is, I think we're waiting for Anton. Anton, are you going to?
Oh, sorry, no.
Anwar. Anwar? Anwar? And are you going to be
sure how to connect right now?
Okay, well, we'll just do these 2. All right, racers, on your mark, get set, go.
That's nice start. Hit the cone.
Chris, this intersection actually brought some excitement for the races. Who came up with the design of the track?
That was me and Adam Conway. We just whiteboarded it right there in circuit launch. We tried a couple different shapes. We wanted to make it tighter. We wanted to have some lefts and some rights. Yeah, we wanted some intersections. So this was the one that worked.
Yeah, I saw the drawings. The drawings are still on the whiteboard.
Yeah, they are. It works for 2 reasons. One is that it's a collision opportunity, and the second is that it's some ambiguities. You go into the intersection, it's not clear, obvious where you want to go left or right, and you just need to know that, just like the real world. So Felipe is doing really well. Kimberly looks like she flipped, but that's okay. And we're waiting for Felipe just to get his 3rd lap. Felipe, tell us about your training technique.
Well, to be honest, this is a very last minute model. My first model, I trained it with 30 latency. So when I trained it on this server, for some reason it wouldn't do the movements I wanted it to do. So then what I did is I started training at 0 latency, used the same model, and then influenced it twice with the same data that I had. So this is the first time I see it in action.
It's doing great.
Really good.
Thank you.
And fast too. And you're missing the random cone, possibly randomly, but it's very consistent.
Yeah, for sure, randomly.
Yeah, but I can see just how smoothly it's handling this, and it replicates the same path every time.
So Felipe, really quick, Chris. So when you train with that 30 milliseconds latency, then when you're racing on the server, did you remember to remove the latency?
Oh yeah, I removed it, but it was when I would run it on like my computer versus running it on the server, it'd be different. It wouldn't run the same line. It would since I would run such a tight line like there, I would run such a tight line where if you see right here in this corner, I like hug the left and then hug the right, I would just crash into the left right away when I would do the, yeah.
Okay, we got some good, Felipe, you did great. 28 seconds is your best. Before we start from the top again, Anton, Anwar, are you ready to go, either of you?
No, sorry.
And Anwar? Or whichever.
Am I connected?
I don't
To the race.
I don't see you, no. Okay, we'll give you, you can come back for the next one. We're gonna go back to the top. So we're gonna start again from the first four. This is gonna be Esther, Andrew, Sean, and Nyan.
Sorry, can I ask you, what is that symbol, like the Raspberry Pi symbol on top of the car sometimes?
That's your camera. That's not necessarily the symbol of Raspberry Pi. That's your virtual camera. So that's the location for the camera.
That's the location for the camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can see that Rainer change and put his higher. To pay attention next time he's racing that his camera is higher.
Okay.
All right, we have 3 of the 4. There we have all 4. Okay, first row, Sean and Esther. On your mark, get set, go. Second row, Drew and Nyan. On your mark, get set, go. Again, the time only starts when they cross the line, so they're at no disadvantage. We're looking at some really good racing here. Oh, that was Drew. You got nailed it. Oh, what a disaster. Esther, let's see whether you can avoid this pileup.
Maybe we can call this one a, I mean, maybe we can restart this one because
yeah,
I think Esther already has a lap time and Andrew, Sean, and Nayan
that's a good point.
So
that's a good point. Okay,
good
that was just bad luck. That's just a mess. Let's restart.
And the guys on the back, maybe give a second between the 2 folks on the back because you're pretty tight together, and give a second between somebody on the back, and then
try to wait a bit
Will do. I've got some latency on my Twitch, so I'm not quite sure what's happening in real time. Okay, so everyone
not necessarily Chris. I mean, the 2 guys that starting on the back, they're starting. They're so tight together. They are the second time they get.
Oh, I see. Okay, so everyone's disconnecting. They're reconnecting. Drew is back on the line. And it's back on the line. Okay, we have all 4. Okay, first row. This is going to be Sean and Nyan. On your mark, get set, go. Second row, Esther and Drew. On your mark, get set, go. Now, I'm hoping we're not going to, that I didn't do the timing such that you all hit in the intersection of death again. Oh, no.
It should be okay if you recover, maybe. Okay, we at least have a lap time. I mean, if Nayan finishes. So.
It looks like Drew is being thrown by the random cone. So that's yeah, but he recovered. That's fine.
Okay.
Do we consider that disqualification if he passes on the wrong side of that cone?
Well,
for that lap, maybe, but he'll have other laps coming in.
Yeah,
he'll have other laps that's clean.
Okay, let's see how he does this time. Let's see if he gets thrown by the random cone again. No, that one worked. Okay, he's back in the game.
Okay, so I'm just going to count this one as his first one. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, Nyan, tell us about your technique.
Okay, so first I trained the model with low speed and with the cone. I'm sorry, without the cone. And then I trained the model with the cone and with high speed. And then and third time I have completed like 30 laps, which and I actually followed the yellow line in the mid. Yep. And I made sure that for each turn I slow down, and then so the car will slow down, and then it will have appropriate time to make a turn.
Yeah, you did really well. Now bad luck to crash, but I think you got some good times there. Drew,
Yeah, first time it was really a bad luck. Sorry.
Drew, tell us. So obviously that random cone's really throwing you. What's your Drew? What's your lesson here?
Yeah, I gotta work on that. I gotta work on training with cones.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Jet Sim. It's based off of Jet Racer, and it's built in PyTorch. So it's a fairly easy framework, very lightweight. The only difference between this and Donkey Car is mainly this is using a pre-trained model, ResNet 18. And the way you collect the images is a little different, as well as the amount of data needed. So in this model, I did around 500 images.
Got it. So at this point, there was just a collision you couldn't avoid. Let's see the times. Okay, so I think Maxime's we're gonna call that at the end of that. It looks like let's see, Esther did not do. She had such a good lap the first time that she was not able to beat it in the second race. Drew got points on the board. 30 seconds is really excellent. And Sean didn't. I don't see Sean. Did Sean have any times?
No.
Okay.
He crashed.
DNF. And then Nyan, you did fantastically. 30 seconds. You actually did better than Drew.
I did that mid. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I did that loop twice. That's why it took like 40 seconds.
The first time.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
but in your second lap,
it's
you
okay
did it once.
because you mostly lost time by doing the two turns. So I mean, yeah, I won't DNF you for that, and you get a clean lap afterwards. So all okay.
Very good. Okay, next up, so racers disconnect. Next up is going to be Kevin, Jonghyun, Gabriel, and Chris. And again, if you're unclear where you sit in the ranking, just go to the spreadsheet and you'll see where you stand. Should be no surprises. All right, we have all four racers. First row, on your mark, get set, go. Second row, on your mark, get set, go.
It's interesting how people start exactly when I say go, Chris. Almost no delay. I can see almost in real time here. And then as soon as I say go, I can see the robots moving. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And I'm trying to see whether we're getting the spacing right about the intersection. I don't want them to hit each other on the first lap, but I do want them to. Oh my goodness, there we go. That was an interesting passing collision. Like one of those police maneuvers where you spin the guy out by nicking his rear end. So yeah, we have some racers doing really well here. Gabriel's looks super fast. And ooh, that was a close one. Kevin seems to be locked up there. Gabriel's missing Kevin, which is great. He's skimming the random cone, maybe not hitting it, which would be awesome. So
he
yeah,
hit the first time, but the second time no. So
yeah. So Gabriel, good. Tell us what your trick is. You're doing great here.
Yeah, I actually just trained on a lot because we were training on the UCSD supercomputers. I think it only had about 20 gigabytes of RAM allocated. So I did like 200 laps and trained it on my laptop at 32
You
gigabytes.
only had 20 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah, it used more because I did like 200 laps, so I did a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Between the supercomputer and the 20 gigabytes, you are well provisioned. Benefits by good. All right. Has he got? Has he done his 3, Maxime?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. So let's look at those times. Gabriel, you have a 28 second, which I think puts you in
second or third place.
Third place.
Third, yeah.
I think Rainer's in first and Felipe's in second. So that puts Gabriel in third place. And was let's see, it looks like Chris got a 35 second and everyone was a DNF. Everyone else was DNF. DNF stands for did not finish, by the way.
Yep.
Okay.
I was just double checking. Yeah.
All right. Okay, next up is going to be Sunny, Rainer, our current track leader, Parth, and Tiziano. Sunny, Rainer, Parth, and Tiziano.
Kevin, we need to disconnect, please.
Me?
Kevin,
yeah. Control
okay.
C when you turn.
I did Control C. I don't know why it's still keeping me in there actually. Sorry. Is there anything else that I can do?
No, it's going to be on my end. Let's see if I can kick you out or something.
Okay.
So why does that happen? If the process is stopped on the client side?
I don't know. Sometimes it happens. It never happens to me, but yeah, sometimes we often see people struggling with deconnecting. So
yeah.
So we have 5. Who's
we have a ghost.
Right. Yeah. We have
all right. I'll take care of that.
This is us restarting the server. Okay, if everyone could rejoin. Parth is in. Waiting for Rainer. Sunny's in, waiting for Rainer and Tiziano. There he is. Just waiting for Rainer.
Jack, I think we ran into an issue now because my container was running when you exited the sim. And I have
can stop it and run again.
Yes, maybe do that. Yes, because there's a conflict.
Yeah, that happens. Just stop it as usual and run again.
Yeah. Should fix it.
Okay.
Thanks, Dimitri.
No worries.
Nice, Carlos. That worked.
Okay. First row, on your mark, get set, go. Second row, on your mark, get set, go. So Sunny and Parth are doing great. Let's see whether this intersection hits them. Ooh, Sunny, aggressive move, and now created an obstacle right in the worst place, right at the intersection. We may be in pilot mode here. Yeah, this I think
something is up with my car. It's just going backward now. I don't know what's happening.
We see that it's because of the physics in there. So yeah, all right. So you
I don't know, it's going backward.
Yeah, I know. So what you have to do is that your autopilot you have to put in the beginning because your model doesn't know necessarily how to start from basically 0 speed, right? So you have to give it a little bit of, there is an auto, there's a mode that you just say, hey, move forward for X number of seconds. Because most of your data come from you driving, not from stopping, right? So it doesn't really learn how to start.
So
it started.
Yeah. Okay, let's restart this one.
All right.
So if everyone could log off and log back on. That was just bad luck.
I think it's even worse. Let me actually.
Rainer, if you could stop your container. There you go.
Yeah. Did it.
Okay, let's try it again.
So what we want is pileups are good, but not in that one particular intersection because it's just impossible to get by. Okay, on first row, on your mark, get set, go.
Okay, let me try again.
Waiting for Rainer.
Okay.
Second row, on your mark, get set, go.
If I can be there, and there it goes. It started. Looks like it started. At least moving forward.
So Parth looks like he's cheating a little bit on that one intersection, taking a hard left, but that's okay.
Oh, someone passed me like at the speed of light. Oh, yeah, it's staying on course a little bit better.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, what is it going?
So Rainer, you're doing great, but there's a lot of competition on the track. Look at all those cars you have to avoid. I'm trying to see whether you can pass Parth without hitting him. I've got a little latency, so my car, ooh, looks like a pass. Oh, that was crazy.
Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry, Parth.
That was amazing. I've never seen
That's just
such a
good
flip.
racing right there.
Yeah.
That's good racing for sure.
That was a high-speed crash.
That's the joy of the sim, is that even on big crashes like that, even if they are not really accurate physically, they are funny.
It's not as expensive as in Dallara.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even in the real world, it doesn't really hurt the cars that much. We get crashes like that all the time, and it's just good fun.
With RC cars, not with the full-size car.
that exactly. Parth is doing great. I thought Rainer was gonna chase him or kind of close on him, but I think Parth is going at least as fast. They look like almost exactly the same speed. We'll find out. Are they done those 3 laps?
And this is Parth's first time, I think, doing this track competitive wise.
I'm really impressed. Parth, any tricks you want to impart?
Not just using that JetSim framework that we developed. It's going good because we're running on Google Colab right now. Our model. So we still have to do some experimentation because we don't know like the ping times with Google Colab and like Jack server. So still lots of room to improve on it, but we're happy with what we're at.
For sure. So it looks like Rainer, your times were about the same as in the first heat, but Parth, I think Parth had 3 laps, didn't he? I'm only seeing.
He had only 2. Oh, he did. He did have a last lap, but it's like 106 seconds.
Okay. Okay. So not as fast. So not as fast as Rainer, but still great time, 30.78. So Rainer at 26.56. I think you're still in the lead. I don't see anybody else close. That's awesome. Okay. Okay. Next group is going to be Dimitri, Nywin, Felipe, and Kimberly. No, did I get that right? Yeah. Dimitri, Naiwan, Felipe, and Kimberly. I haven't missed anybody, have I? I don't think so. All right, we're just waiting for nobody. First row, on your mark, get set, go. Second row, actually, I'll give you a moment. Second row, on your mark, get set, go. So look, is that Naiwan in the lead or is that Felipe? It looks like that's Felipe in the lead.
Yep.
Everyone else is doing great. Clean racing, everybody. Some close calls at the cone of death, at the intersection of death. Kimberly, you're looking like you're taking a good line there. What's your technique? Kimberly, how did you train? You're muted.
Kimberly, can you hear us?
She didn't want to reveal her secrets.
No, that's right. Okay. Naiwan, how about you? What's how's this one going for you?
So I trained 2 models, and the first one doesn't go across the left side because it cannot recognize the yellow line in the middle, and especially when at the cross there's no yellow line, so I just release the turn to let it go straight forward.
So this intersection did what it always does, which is create a pileup. But no worries, we got lots of good racing before then. Let's see how we did. Looks like Felipe did a incredible 28:12, which is not quite his best time. I think he did a 28 flat in the first heat, but that was excellent. And Dimitri was DNF? No, Dimitri had a first lap. Forgive me.
Yep.
Actually, I've got my good. Okay, and we now have our last 2, which is Anton and Anwar. Are you ready to go this time?
Unfortunately not. I think I'm close, very close though.
Okay, and I don't know which of you that was, but
that was Anton.
Anton, Anwar, are you ready to go?
Still doesn't connect me.
Okay, well, we'll come back. You'll have one more chance. Okay, we're going to go back to the top now. This is the last.
Chris,
yes.
maybe we have already plenty of lap time. Maybe we don't need to redo all of the hits. Maybe
That
we can have maybe just 1 or 2 groups.
Okay,
that didn't finish.
That's a very
so
good point.
We can move faster to the ladder. And,
yes, exactly. Okay, so the people who have no times right now, Sean Park, I'm gonna highlight you with orange. So Sean Park, you have no times. You have an opportunity to go again. Tiziano, you have an opportunity to go again. Anton and Anwar. So this is your last chance. Everybody else has times. So Sean, Tiziano, Anton, and Anwar, this is your last chance to get points before we go into the ladder.
I just tested my model on my local simulator, and it looks like something is not working correctly, because it's not working even locally. So I don't think it has any chance to work online.
No worries. Thank you for showing up. You will be back next time, and just really glad you had the opportunity to experience the Donkey framework. And
oh yeah.
For those of you who don't know Tiziano, he has the best YouTube videos in the world on how to use various robotics frameworks, and I'm delighted that you now have an opportunity to use Donkey and compare and contrast. And we look forward to seeing you at the next virtual race, if not sooner.
And in person, if you can come over to the United States and
I'm in Boston, actually.
Yeah, he's in Boston. And by the way, if you want to start, I'm not sure we have an active race group in Boston, but we should. So if you want to start that, just go to DIY-RoboCars.com, and we have a list of local groups. If there is one, join it. If there isn't one, start one.
Thank you very much, guys.
Okay, Anton, Anwar, are you guys going to be ready to go?
Yeah, it finally got it. So we're good
Okay,
now.
so we have Anton and Shan. Is that right?
Okay, that sounds right.
Perfect.
Okay, racers, on your mark, get set, go. Well, we have Anton, and they're both off. That's a great news. Congratulations, guys. It's, victory starts with starting.
Yep. At least it's running.
And you're both running well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anton, I'm impressed by your speed.
How did you manage to train a model this fast? What was not working previously?
Instead of like trying to follow the line perfectly, I think that if you go off a little bit, just a little bit off the line, like then the robot, or the AI, if it itself gets off a little bit, it doesn't get confused because it doesn't know really where it's at, because it's been trained to know if I'm off a little bit, I need to do this to go back.
That's smart. And Sean, how about you? What's your technique?
Yeah, so you can see right now I'm going pretty slowly. My kind of, when I was training, was just try to follow the path as slowly and correctly as possible, but it's not good for a race.
But it's really smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a reliable way, and now you've learned how to train reliably. Next, you can learn how to train fast.
Right.
Good. So I'm impressed. We're just going to wait for the last times here, and then we're going to start the ladder. We're going to take, as we compile the ladder, we're going to take a 2-minute break, and then the ladder will be the top 8 racers, and we'll very quickly find out who's the fastest.
I can't believe how little work I'm having this time. I'm going to be obsolete here soon.
Oh. So Maxime, tell me when they've both got their 3rd lap.
Yep. Soon.
Yeah, we have a passing situation here.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's always like really really interesting to see, because some people train to overtake, some don't, and I think what's interesting is that when they don't, and that the model still manage to overtake. So
remind me, in the simulator, do you have ghost cars that you can train against?
Not for the moment, but that's a thing we would like to have in a near, or I mean, that's something we would like to have in the future. But that's not a thing for the moment. But you could, for example, run a pace car. Basically, you could train a model to go slowly, and then train another model to overtake this one. So this could be done.
So you can create your own pace car in a sense.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But I think that's for the people aiming to really win the race, because it takes time, even to train one model, one good model to the pace car, it takes some time. So
yeah. So Anton, terrific. You did 31.1 as your best time. I think that's going to put you in the top 8. which means that you'll be coming back. And where I don't have your times yet, but I think they probably were a bit slower.
I guess we can take Anton from the orange list.
That's right. So
this Anton name look like a Brazilian name, Maxine.
Is it? People tell me it's some people tell me it's Russian, people tell me it's Brazilian. They also
No,
say
I
it's French.
was sure it was like a French name. I was messing around with Maxine. I was sure he would tell me. So no, yeah, no, definitely not Brazilian. There'll be Antonio in Portuguese.
Okay, Jack. While Maxime and I build the ladder, can you entertain us with stories of what else one learns at the best robotics class in the world?
Yeah, one of the things that people should know that some of the college, including University of California, San Diego, the class is open for the community. So we usually get 4 seats for students that we call the UCSD extension. Berkeley going to have an extension, or just the college in general, the university will have an extension class that you can join. So we had 4 students this quarter, and they are racing here with us, even though it just says UCSD 148, because it's the same class they register for. They are community member. You don't have to be necessarily on the path of the undergrad or graduate school. You could come as a community member and join a class and sit side by side with the engineering students. And that's one of the things that I like when we mix undergrad with some people that's a professional background, and you have that great synergy and experience. And we have an example for some students come here and racing with us. So that's pretty cool. They have access to the robots, they have access to the track. I invite them to go race with us in Northern California next time, Chris. So if they can manage the time, they're gonna come over. And then, so the other part is they have access to a virtual machine they give to them, not much install the software in the beginning, then lots of the install when they have the physical robot. They train initially on their own CPU, and maybe an hour or plus for training for, let's say, 40 laps on our track at UCSD. Then we introduce them to the UCSD Supercomputer Center, where students have access to a GPU cluster, and then go from 60 to 70 minutes to maybe a minute or 2. So to me, it's much more excited. But in the beginning, we let people feel the pain of training, doing deep learning on a CPU only. And then we give them access to GPU clusters that allow them to train faster. That means collect more data per day, and we'll go from there. So that's basically what class look like. We can see already on the screen that the ladder is starting to be formed. We can see Rainer coming in first, and the way we build this, we put the 2 faster time away from each other, and then we start to fill up the other with the slower time, so that just like in a competition, the 2 top ranked players may meet just at the end of the race. And the reason we just want to move on 8, just to get a little bit faster, we already about 1 hour and 15 minutes on this race. So now we're going to go just simple elimination, and then we're going to be able to finish up by 11 as we have planned.
Good. Maxime is almost finished with the ladder. Just while he's doing that, I'll tell you who the top 8 were. So coming out of the heats, number 1 was Rainer. And the fastest time is 26.56. Then comes Felipe, then Sunny, then Gabriel, then Nyan, then Parth, then Andrew, then Anton. So those would be the 8 going into the ladder. We typically we race the fastest versus so number 1 races against number 8, number 2 races against number 7, and so on. And there'll be, I guess, three races. No, so that's not right. Probably 4 races, I think, in total. And I think we are ready to go. The first one is going to be Rainer versus Anton. This is one on head-to-head racing. So Rainer and Anton, join. There you go. So in this case, you know, we have a, excuse me. So in this case, we have a favored, which is, you know, Rainer, but Anton, you know, is fast as well, and anything can happen. So what's
1 second, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. By the way, the next race is going to be Gabriel versus Nayan. Then it's going to be Sunny versus Parth. Then it's going to be Felipe versus Andrew. So you racers should all be standing by. We're just waiting for Anton to join. Anton, do you need another minute? We can go to the next race.
Hold on. Wait, give me like 30 more seconds. If not, just go. You can skip me.
Zen.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, very good. All right, racers, on your mark, get set, go. Now, in this case, they're randomly assigned to an inside or outside track. The track is more or less symmetrical, so there aren't huge advantages to being one and the other. But Anton's first off the line.
I mean, it's not really random. It depends on when do you connect. So if you connect first, you'll get the. We could randomize that, but it's hard to do because we will need to have some kind of a randomized position button. So we could do that, but.
So Rainer's demonstrated some really pro passing techniques. Rainer, tell us, I mean, was that just luck or did you actually train it to pass on the inside like that?
No, I trained it to follow the optimal race line. So, and since Anton was a bit way off, I think that's luck. Yeah.
It looks
to be
great.
honest.
Yeah. So it looks like, you know, Rainer, so in this case, it's the fastest time that moves on. But because they start at the same time, it also looks like the first one over the finish line. And it looks like Anton is hung up and Rainer's going to win. Should we let Rainer do a one more lap, or let's just call it after this one?
He can finish this one, but
yeah.
Okay,
so Rainer moves on. Next race is going to be Gabriel versus Nayan. At this point, the times don't really matter. It's really about the position. It's binary. You either win or you don't.
So either you crash or you finish ahead or you have a better lap time or total time. Depends.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Because if you crash and that you were fast, I mean, if both crash and that you were faster, you will still win.
Right. Right. But we're not recording your time to compare with the other heats. Okay, racers are both on the line. On your mark, get set, go. Okay, leave at the same time, which is going to lead to excitement on the next turn at the intersection. Both looking great. Oh no, Gabriel, we have to restart this one, unfortunately. We need somebody to finish at least one lap. So racers, we're gonna we're gonna restart you. Disconnect and reconnect, please. Nayan, you need to disconnect and reconnect. Control C, up arrow, return.
So those two should be the one that are the most well matched because they are seeded 4th and 5th.
Exactly.
So we should expect a really good fight.
Yeah, racers, on your mark, get set, go. I think they actually have opposite starting positions now, inside and outside. Maybe it'll change things, maybe not.
Oh.
Gabriel's looking very fast off the line. But Nayan's got good speed on the on the curves.
Doesn't crash this time.
Okay, we're gonna get points.
Yeah.
They are being dinged for hitting that random cone, though.
I mean, they both hit it, so
it's
doesn't really matter. Okay.
Still, you were right. You predicted they would be very close, and they are. Gabriel, you're slightly in the lead. How do you feel?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. I don't think I'm gonna get to the final, sadly.
Yeah, but this is a good race.
So this is the last lap. So if Gabriel finishes first, he will move on. I hope I didn't jinx it, but
yeah. No, and you're just like a second behind, which is again very close. Okay.
And that's over.
All right, very
Really well
good.
done.
Okay, very well done. Gabriel moves on. Next race is going to be Sunny versus Parth. Parth is on. This is going to be a jet sim versus, I believe, a donkey car. Racers, on your mark, get set, go. This one should also be pretty close. Sunny has a slight advantage in time, but Parth is looking aggressive.
I think we're going to call that
Oh,
restart because
that was crazy. You think, even though Parth is
you'll
sorry. Yeah. You're ahead of me in time. You can see into the future from me. Okay, let's restart. It's a good crash though.
Yeah.
So Maxime, are you on the Twitch and it's just that your Twitch is faster than my Twitch?
Yeah, I'm on the Twitch. I have I guess 2 or 3 seconds of delay.
Yeah, and I must have more than that.
Yeah, I think you have like 5 or 6.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just reload. Okay.
And in Europe, right? So it's something the server in Europe is like extremely faster than the US, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Racers, on your mark, get set, go. I find if I just reload Twitch, it restarts my latency to 0, and then it kind of builds up over time. Okay, so good start. At this point, Parth would normally sort of get the racing lane on the inside, but didn't. Oh yeah, here it comes. The same collision.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so maybe what we can try to do.
Start at different times.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
And
right.
then we'll select with the best total time or best lap time.
Okay. Why don't we start Parth first, and we can bring him on. Then Sunny second. Okay, so Sunny, I'll wait for you to go, and then we'll start you 2 seconds apart. So that's give you a better chance. Okay. Parth, on your mark, get set, go. Sunny, on your mark, get set, go. I hope I didn't create a collision at the intersection.
That's
one way to find out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Should be. Yeah. Good,
Chris.
Whew. That was close. Looking good, both of you.
Yeah. So lap time wise, for the moment, Sunny is faster.
But Parth's car looks cooler. By the way, this is completely random. It has no effect on the actual physics. You can just choose any random shape you want.
Last time, Drew had something that was changing color as he's racing, if I'm not mistaken. It has like a multicolor body.
Yeah, it looks like Sunny's going to pass Parth.
Yeah, and we are entering the last lap. So for the moment, Sunny is leading in terms of lap times.
Looks like Sunny also missed the random cone.
Yep. Could we see an overtake? Maybe. Oh
no. Bad luck.
That was close.
That could have happened.
Yeah.
Should we just let him keep? Should we let him keep running just to see if the overtakes for fun?
Well, if you want, I have the lap times. I'll tell you who won. Who won.
I just wanted to see if there was any drama. It feels like Sunny really wants to overtake Parth.
Yeah.
But it's just not happening. He's got that conservative turn there. It kind of breaks. Oh, is this going to be the one? Oh. I'm sorry. There's the eye candy.
Getting close.
Ooh. Okay.
You have a pretty good update.
So
you can see almost a second after the server. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So regarding the lap times, so Sunny moves on with a 87.6 for 3 laps.
Excellent.
And Parth was doing a 92.5 for 3 laps. So Sunny is moving on.
Yeah, Sunny. Okay, last race in the quarterfinals is Felipe versus Andrew.
Students are learning quick. Look at that. They connect really quick, Chris. You educating them nicely.
Okay, racers, on your mark, get set, go. We had another Jet Sim versus Donkey situation. Now, Drew has won in the past. We know he has it in him.
Oh, sorry. I didn't start the lap time. Sorry. Could we restart really quickly?
Yeah, racers, could you disconnect and reconnect?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't reset the clock. Actually.
That's right. And Drew, you're lucky because you were going to wipe out.
Hopefully, it shouldn't affect much. Let's see.
Okay. Maxime, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, racers, on your mark, get set, go. Okay, let's see whether Drew hits that cone again. That was close.
Yeah. I think the walls are really helping. In this case, the walls weren't there. He should have.
Yeah, he would have gone off the track. Yeah. Exactly. It looks like Felipe is going to win this one. Really smooth. Felipe, again, nice racing. Are you going? Did you change anything between this and your last races? Oops, sorry, I spoke too soon. Oh no.
It's okay. No, nothing.
If Drew finishes this lap, he's moving on.
Yeah.
So in this case, finishing 3 laps counts for more than the fastest single lap.
Yes, we're giving reliability a lot higher.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Wait, no.
Those are the rules. Now, Drew, I can see you're taking that one curve pretty wide. Is that by intent?
I had the throttle up a little too high right now.
Yeah, I can see.
So it's not controlling well. I don't know. This model, it's just not that good this time.
Yeah, no worries. Okay.
Getting rusty.
As long as old timer.
Oh no.
So
did he
did 2 laps, but then Felipe did only 1. So how do we call that?
Well,
should the fastest lap time move on, or should
I think neither. So neither passed the reliability test, which is 3 laps.
Yeah.
So in the absence of that, it's the fastest lap time.
I agree.
Okay, so Felipe moves on.
Let's go.
Felipe moves on. Very nice. Okay, we're now going to the semifinals. This is going to be Rainer versus Gabriel. Only 3 more races to go. 2 more semis, and then the final. Rainer is up, waiting for Gabriel. Gabriel's in. Racers, on your mark, get set, go.
Gabriel, no stress because the clock starts when you cross the line.
Although there's, yeah, might be a slight collision opportunity here. That's crazy.
Should we restart this one or?
That was really unfortunate. That was unfortunately no. I
he's
think
back in. He's back in action.
Yeah, but those are the rules. I mean, collisions happen.
Yeah.
Unless both of them would not complete, would give another chance. But they are back in business.
I think this time the veterans are getting a run for their money.
They are.
Good class, Jack.
Yeah, these guys are sharp. And Andrew, we just introduced this track early in the week. I told him, hey, this is a new track that we're going to be racing. Because as you know, we use the USSD track on the first simulation race.
So for the moment, oh, I jinxed it.
Oh
la la.
Maybe the champion gonna hold.
So wait, if Rainer can finish 3 laps, he wins, even if he wasn't fastest.
If he finished this laps.
Oh my goodness.
Woo.
Oh, that could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And there he goes. Okay.
I was just about to say if Gabriel finishes this
he
wins.
Bad luck, Gabriel. You were running so well too.
All
okay,
right,
so Gabriel, Rainer moves on. Now we have Sunny versus Felipe.
So yeah, now we should start some real battle between the car.
Yeah.
Because if we have a look at the seed, it's 2 and 3, and Rainer and Gabriel was 1 and 4. So
okay, both racers are at the line. They're both yellow, confusingly, but they have names above.
It's okay.
Racers, on your mark, get set, go.
Felipe is good on the trigger.
I think
Gosh,
this is
they
going
are
to be really close, you know.
They're both hitting the random cone.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. They're so well matched.
Good race.
Don't know whether Sunny's gaining.
I think
well, if
part
we
of
have
the
a look,
track he get it, and then on the straight line against Felipe pull ahead.
We are going to see if someone overtakes. But
Oh, they're so close.
Yeah, this is really close. Oh, we actually have Sunny stuck.
Well, no.
Oh, maybe. Yay!
Goodness. Those walls have really introduced a new dimension, quite literally.
Yeah, but then the car was stuck, so looking at the lap time, it just killed 7 seconds. So
yeah,
that's really
going to hurt him. Yeah.
Yeah. So Felipe finished his 3 laps.
Okay. And Sunny's finishing his 3rd now.
Yeah. So Felipe is moving on.
Wow. Okay. So this is it. Felipe versus Rainer for the final race of the competition. Okay. Sonny, if you could disconnect, please. All right, Rainer is up. You can see if Rainer's that little sort of little icon hanging above the L, or sort of up in the sky. That's his camera. You can see he has a high camera, which is an advantage. A smart technique. So we're just waiting for Felipe to join. There he is. Okay, Felipe's camera, as you can see, is below his number, so I'll lower camera. All right, racers, on your mark, get set, go. This is the final race of the day. This is the winner of this is the winner of the day.
Oh no, what happened?
Oh, what a shame.
Did you change anything, Felipe?
Yeah, I trained a new model.
No,
I was like, there's no way.
Man,
No, there's no way I
nothing.
could beat 26.
But it's
Not-
okay. You
not,
never know if you're gonna have a crash or things like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
he could just wipe
true.
out.
That's true. That's true.
That is
when
the
the
number
sun is
one
not
not
it was
rule.
worth the
broken,
risk.
don't fix it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rule number one: if it works, don't touch
Yeah.
it.
So Rainer, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, you were the victor last month as well, or last race too. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
So you are the
Right.
returning champion, and you are going to, unless you wipe out, you're going to do it
Maybe
again.
we should start to give some awards, maybe, or some prize for the winners.
Bragging rights. Easier for us to manage. In person, we sometimes do have sponsors, and when they get prizes like things like Justin Nano or something like that.
Actually, that's a good point, Chris. There is a good chance that we're going to start to give prize from the Autowear Foundation coming up on the next in-person race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking to them into this.
We are also getting some prize in France for the in-person race.
Like champagne or
no,
francs.
it's oh, let me check. I think it's yeah, Jetson Nano.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me search.
Chris, you should ping back. Didn't you have like something like that a while back? Have some hardware to give away?
Yeah, yeah.
We should
Basically,
ping back those guys from many videos if they'll play with us along.
you know, it's really quite. We typically, whoever was like going to be the speaker that day, we would ask them to bring, bring some relevant prizes. But yeah, we could do it.
So does anybody want to get upset with us, for example, if let's say Auto has some cash or just the hardware, and we buy any video versus somebody else, with anybody saying, well, why are you buying their hardware or not?
No, that's fine. That's fine. But you don't want to give out cash.
So
it's got to be something
for
relevant.
this year. The winner and the first three get to choose between a Jetson Nano, an Intel RealSense D45i or D40. I mean anyway.
yeah.
And a Google USB core stick. So yeah.
Good. All
so
cool.
the first one
Nice.
chooses what he wants. Second one then chooses what's remaining, and the third one gets what.
That's
when is this race? When is your next in-person race?
I think in October.
Very nice.
Something like that. Yeah.
Hope you guys can stream it. Can you watch? See if there's somebody that will be able to stream that for us.
Maybe we can do that. Yeah.
So speaking of which, here's what's coming up next with our races. The next in-person one is going to be a bunch of us are going to be going to the Self-Racing Cars event at Thunderhill Racetrack in Willows, California, and we'll be racing larger cars, sort of go-kart size there. That's going to be our kind of our sequence is going to be virtual, outdoor, indoor, and so on, one per month. So that's going to be our outdoor race. That'll be in October, and then our next indoor race at Circuit Launch is going to be in November, and then we won't have another virtual race until I think December. Now, of course, you can run virtual races anytime you want, running a simulator locally, but the next official one won't be to December. So, Jack, any last words before we sign off?
No, not really. Actually, Chris, would you be able to then consider doing like indoor, virtual, and outdoor, like give a space between, so that's a good time for us to travel. We do that to travel instead of doing back to back in person. We put it virtual. Did I understand that correctly or not?
No, I know. So outdoor is in October. The next indoor is November. So there's a month gap between them.
No, I get it. So I mean, in the regular season, just put the virtual in between, so that means we race in person every 2 months.
Sure,
You're gonna help us on the logistics.
We could do that. So we'll do outdoor in October, then we'll do virtual in November, and then we'll do indoor in December.
That works.
Okay, good. I'll set the times will all be on the meetup. If you go to the DIY-RoboCars meetup, you'll get notified about this next races. Congratulations, Rainer, once again, the reigning champion. You're proving hard to dislodge. Any last words from you or words from the Detroit crew?
Yeah, well, actually, it's the Parking Lot Nerds are a crew mix of Ann Arbor, Detroit, Ottawa, and Stuttgart. So it's a mixed crew, and I think it's always a part of luck, as we've seen today. It could have easily been the end of the race for me if I wouldn't have recovered. So so that shows that we always have to cope for the edge cases and do more on that, recovering and don't stop learning on that and improving.
Exactly.
Very nice.
Wise words from a reigning champion. Okay, well, I just wanted to, and Maxime, any last words from you?
Well, first, thanks everyone for participating. It was a really fun race. A lot of good, really good lap times. It was really close, really entertaining, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you in I guess 1 month. Is that right?
2 months, November.
2 months? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
we'll figure out something different in 2 months, Chris. Maybe you have enough time. This is actually may work really well, because in 2 months we can add either a pace car, something different that to keep it adding to the challenge. To make sure with the LiDAR is working, the IMU is working, something like that. We're going to add something else every 2 months.
Love it. Okay. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you in 2 months' time. Thanks for joining us, and congratulations to all the racers who did great today.
Yep.
Bye all.
Bye-bye now.